You are about to opt in to Monerotopia, a show for the Monero community where all are welcome to join. From noob to maxi, no matter what bags you hold. Just sit back and relax to the sweet sounds of Monero's latest progress. Or if you're feeling inspired, join us on stage. Remember, the only thing that can stop Monero is a false belief that it can be stopped. And if you want to win the revolution faster, we recommend you remove your XMR from all custodial exchanges immediately. Warning, voting accidents are common around here. Don't forget to properly secure your private keys. Monerotopia starts now. Aloha, my friends.
All right, I'm tweeting.
Of course you are, because you're never last minute.
I'm tweeting with aFungible.
This person is pretty funny.
Well, no, because did you see Nitemare said he's in New York?
Oh, cool. Hello. Good morning.
Do you remember him? We met him at Monerotopia.
Yeah, we met him at the we hung out at the beach and
now
everything.
he's like super active in the Telegram. He keeps things going. He's jumping on here all the time.
Coolio.
We should have had him join us in person and be our special guest.
Oh yeah, we should have.
We got to do more of that.
Yeah.
If anybody's coming to
Too
New
many
York
things to keep track of.
and wants to be a special guest on Monerotopia, hit us up in advance.
Email us. That's like the best.
Yeah,
because then it reminds us. I know you may mention it throughout, but if you email it, it's like written in stone, and then
like we had remember aFungible, I think, was our first in person, right? And
well,
not aFungible. I mean,
I was like, huh? Who?
Oh my God, who am I thinking of?
I don't.
Untraceable.
Oh, Untraceable. That's right. He
Yeah.
came to the other apartment. Yeah.
That was so awesome.
Well, that was
great.
Well, that wasn't live, but we had you had a one-on-one interview.
Right.
Yeah,
we did a Monero talk recording.
That's awesome. Oh, he's saying right here, I will be back in October as well, so we can do it then. Okay.
Oh, word.
So just touch base with us via email or whatever, Telegram. We're on Telegram, obviously. Telegram, I guess, would be easier. Just message me or the both of us. And then I'll make sure to keep track of it. And then we can try to schedule a live show, or you do a one-on-one interview if the person is interested. And we'll take it from there.
Remember when I wanted to start the Monero taxi?
Oh, my God. Yeah.
I don't know. We may have to get that going. So anybody that comes through New York.
You just want to add
we live in Queens, so we're kind of central. I could get to JFK. I could get to LaGuardia.
Oh, my God. LaGuardia.
But obviously you could pay in Monero only. And
what a surprise.
I'll Uber and come pick you up and drive you. It's got to be within the 5 boroughs, though.
All right, you have fun doing that. I'll be at home.
And maybe then we hook up the car with some video, and we do the show live. We'll do the shows as I drive people to their locations. It'd be like Taxi Cab Confessions? Did you ever see that show?
I think I did, actually.
That show was revolutionary when it came. That was on HBO. You remember? It was they pick people up, and then they tell them their deepest, darkest secrets.
Really? You're going to tell people your deepest, darkest secrets to a stranger?
Monero people.
I know, seriously.
Monero. Would be cool. No, they could be anonymous. Silent. They could be anonymous. That was like Taxi Cab Confessions. Sometimes their faces were blanked out.
Okay, you have fun trying to figure that out, and let me know how that goes.
Monero Cab Confessions.
Ooh, that's actually a catchy name. Well, let the people know when
we got too many ideas, guys. Too many ideas.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I mean, also it's a good segue. If we put us a post out for help, if anyone's interested in helping us out, or doing some interviews probably tomorrow. Just email us at monerotopia@protonmail.com if you're interested in just helping both shows out, helping us out, and just being part of the team. So we're just throwing it out there. Our team is slowly growing.
Yeah, it'll really help us.
Yeah.
We need
more help.
We got to start delegating more so we can grow the empire.
Yes. Ha ha ha. So for those that are interested in helping out, just reach out reach out today, and then we'll try to set up an interview for tomorrow.
We already got a lot of people help us out, and we do it on a task by task basis, and we send them Monero basically. Yeah.
We have an awesome team, so if you want to be part of the awesome team, reach out, guys.
Pretty cool, global,
yeah,
really global, and we got a lot of different people doing different things. Yeah, it's awesome.
So if you're interested, just reach out, my friends. And I guess just like a small chit chat on what we've done thus far. We're for those that don't know, we're doing a New York City meetup in person. In partner with Cake Wallet, Monero.com. We're doing where Luke Parker, right? That's his name.
Yes.
Who's working on Sarai.
Is that what Spider-Man was named?
I think.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. His Twitter handle is, what is it? Kayaba Nerve.
And I interviewed him.
Yeah, we have an interview, so we had a sneak peek out. We're working on.
We met him at Monerotopia, but we didn't know who he was. We didn't know he was this all-star Monero.
Such an awesome dude.
Dev. The guy's awesome. Yeah, guys, I interviewed him. He was like 15 when he started.
Oh, wow.
Working on crypto. Yeah. I think, he started with Ethereum. Then he made his way to Monero. Very interesting kid. He's young.
Yeah,
he's like 20 years old.
Yeah.
Really smart guy.
Yeah.
He's basically, he's rebuilding. He's building a new version of Thorchain. That's going to be called Sarai, and it's going to be Monero focused. So Thorchain, decentralized exchange that functions on liquidity pools. Really, really cool concept. Seems to be working well, but they never added Monero. They were supposed to add Monero. They were working with Havino on it. I mean, I assume they're still working on it, but it hasn't happened. So Luke took it upon himself to build his own version, and that's solving actually some of what he thinks are issues with Thorchain. He's exposed issues in Thorchain. He's done like auditing for them. He's really impressive. So
stay tuned for that interview.
Check out. And we talked about a lot of things too, because I got his take on like Zcash, and it was good.
Oh, wow.
I think we have to put it on 2 pieces.
Probably 2 parts.
It was like
it was a very long interview.
We have so much content to put out right now, guys. We are backed up.
Yeah, so stay tuned.
We had 9 videos from Freedom Fest.
Which we're slowly releasing.
They're really good. Some of them are short, so just like some of them are only like 20 minutes, right?
Yeah, 20 minutes, even 10 minutes, but it's like short and sweet, but with a lot of info. They were good conversations.
Like I interviewed the guy that's running for governor in New York. Is a libertarian.
Larry Sharp.
Libertarian candidate. We had a great conversation about like cash and the elimination of cash, and he's all for Monero. He's like, hell yeah. He's like, it basically should be comparable to fiat. There should be no difference. But we had a lot of great conversations.
We already released the Mark and Rich panel one conversation, and then the Aaron, the Libertarian Christian Institute. That's released,
I mean, these are like such unique.
Interesting conversation.
Unique people working on these ideas that I didn't even know this whole like liberty startup world existed, because that's basically what it was. It was all these different groups working on their own little liberty projects. Really cool.
So stay tuned. It's a lot. So we're doing it slowly so we don't overwhelm you and you don't get bored.
And that's probably what Monerotopia is going to trend to too, right? So with the next conference,
another nonstop conference. This time it'll start at
I'm
5
so excited about the next Monerotopia, guys, that like we haven't been able to decide what we're doing yet, because there's just so many things we can do, and it's like we want to do it at the right time. One of the ideas is we should do a show on like
ideas. Yeah.
Maybe we'll make that the show, guys. The viewers on stage portion, we're going to talk about the next Monerotopia. So jump on. We could brainstorm together.
Ooh la la. Yes, we can.
And we should do a Twitter Spaces for that too.
Yeah, that would be a good idea, because it kind of would help spread the word about the conference. So we'll try to schedule that as well.
That's another thing that's coming up. There's they're trying to put together Twitter Spaces with a bunch of like Bitcoiners and Monero people, like a BTC Maxi versus Monero people.
Oh my god!
Which is I don't know. I'll be honest. I'm kind of exhausted with the whole right. It's like we had the conversation, even with Mark Moss. It's like I knew every single thing he was gonna say. It was like I had interviewed him before too. So
we interviewed him a year ago.
And I watched that interview the morning before we met him to prepare for
because you had your own Prices Money panel, right?
Yeah. So I watched our old YouTube interview, and it was like It's like, the same BTC BTC Max here. But it should be fun. Somebody's trying to put that together. What's his name trying to put that together? Stoic,
yeah.
Which is cool. And they've been doing these regular meetups. Stoic and Tony, great job, guys, by the way, keeping that going. It's like, it's awesome. We need that. It's not like they're pretty much doing it on a weekly basis now. But they got, I think Dan Held is supposed to be on, which he was supposed to come on Monero Talk too. I think maybe they will try to. I don't know if they're gonna get Giacomo again. I don't know.
Oh, are they? That's gonna be a big one.
It will be cool.
It would be cool.
And then we'll have I'll be on, and Justin, maybe Seth will jump on.
Everyone.
Seth will jump on to keep it calm, to keep it civilized.
Too funny. So yeah, lots going on.
Lots going on.
Yeah, and we might be going to a conference next week. Not 100% sure yet.
Oh, throw that up there.
Revolution.
Yeah, show them the website. It's called Revolution 2022.
Okay. Shares.
Comment. Dan Held loves him some Monero. Oh no, he hates Monero, right? I mean, he's an extreme. Well, not hates, but he's a huge BTC maxi. Or did something change? Are you being sarcastic?
So yeah, this is the website. Join the revolution.
Nightmare says XMR pays for my trips and hotel expenses. Awesome. Yeah, man. That's what you guys got to do. Just use Monero all day. Use it for all your expenses. Use it to buy your groceries and stuff. We do that with coin cards. You could basically, it's very easy to live off Monero these days. And then you just keep, replenishing, putting more fiat into Monero. So you're not losing your hodl position. But it's like, if you're going to buy things, you might as well buy them in the most anonymous way possible all the time. And without leaving traces behind. It's just such a easy thing. It makes sense, like Bitcoiners are like, just use Bitcoin, but it's just not a real reason to use Bitcoin on a daily basis, right? It's like you just might as well just hold it. But with Monero, it makes sense. So it's like this idea of just getting people to use it. Actually, I think it's starting to catch on a little bit. I'm seeing the privacy tech grow, right? Are you seeing that? Like a lot of mainstream companies are adding privacy features to their tech.
Yeah.
Because they're always like, oh, when is the mainstream going to start caring about privacy tech? I mean, it's happening. Look at Signal, right? The adoption of Signal. There's really no need. People were using WhatsApp, but they got pushed over into Signal. They saw the need. I think there's no reason why Monero can't be that for transacting people. It's like a no-brainer. It's just as easy as regular spending, and it comes with the added benefit of being able to transact in cash at all times. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
I think that's enough of the chit chat, and let's move on.
Let's move on.
Let's move on to the price report. The Monerotopia price report segment is sponsored by Local Monero. Avoid using KYC exchanges. Buy and sell Monero directly for fiat, peer-to-peer.
Good morning, everybody. How is everybody doing this weekend? This is the 30th of July, and with the price report number 29. So let us dive deep into it, shall we? So I'm going to discuss three things. The first of one, which is a hot topic doing rounds today, is of US officially in a recession. And the second and third of which are going to be the price analysis on both diving into the on-chain data that got triggered a couple of days back and some technical analysis. So let's talk about, just for our viewers, what is a recession? A recession is basically a broad-based weakness in the economy. And there is also a traditional definition of recession, which, if I remember correctly, is a significant decline in the economic activity that lasts a few months and marked by 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth. And as we might know, US had reported its second quarter of negative GDP growth, which I indicated in the previous report. They declared it on the 29th of July yesterday. The US economy shrank at an annual rate of 1.6% in the quarter one, and now it's announced that it declined by 0.9% in quarter two. So this is a recession, right? Yeah, I think so, unofficially. But it's also important for the US to announce that officially. The White House is reminding people that we are not in a recession, citing that we are creating almost 400,000 jobs a month. And well, they may have a point. But it's also important to understand the midterms elections are coming up in the US and they want to play safe. So, also to point out, if you see globally, the fears of recessions have constantly grown as the Fed continues to hike the interest rates aggressively to fight inflation, and also the economic data has been quite mixed of late. So I think the conditions in this economy are quite unique, as is in every kind of recession in the past. But a few points that come to my radar that I want to rant about is a couple of things that one is the borrowing has become more expensive with the interest rates going up. So there is less money to invest. And also the housing markets are cooling off, as we can see. So it's a pretty much a dry kind of an economy as we speak. But on the other side, you would also notice that there are more people eating at the restaurants. It's sometimes important to see these granular, macro and microeconomic things, that more people are traveling, eating at the restaurants. You might not even get space in the restaurants during the weekends. And, that doesn't really happen in a recession, right? So I think 2022 is going to be a great year of travel. But more importantly, what are the markets going to do going forward? I think the practical answer is job markets. So the question to be asked is, are people going to keep their jobs? And if so, can they continue earning their income in a steady fashion? So, these are the things that are going to mark an important juncture in the market's sentiment going ahead. So moving ahead, let's discuss about what's the market sentiment looking right now as. So as we know, the market had rallied by 20-30% in the last week or two, and this was also in anticipation of the news about the quarter two GDP numbers. Yes, we are likely in an unofficial inflation. However, this was not a shocker. This was not a surprise to the market participants, and this was in line with the expectation of the markets. And also, if you see Elon Musk tweeting with 102 million Twitter followers that Tesla sold 75% of the Bitcoin stash, that did not move the markets a bit. So this is adding to the fuel to fire of the greed. The next in line I want to discuss about is the realized price, because this is something important as we speak. The line that you see in blue is the price of Bitcoin, and the orange line that you see is marking something called the realized price, which is also coincides with the 200-week moving average, which is about 21,000, 22,000 levels. So what has happened is recently is that we have come back above the realized price. And what this in a nutshell means is, when the price of BTC is above this orange line, the realized price, that means in aggregate, the market participants are in profit. And the reverse is also true. When we dip down below this, the market participants are incurring a paper loss on average, right? So while this has gone back up above this, people are always also looking for an inflation hedge, and Bitcoin looks like a place to go. So they are parking the capital because we are flirting above this this orange line, which is the realized price, and historically this realized price has gone back up. So it seems like a nice bet for the long term for investors. The next in line is the MVRVZ score. This is something I've touched upon before. But this chart is a complement with the previous chart of the realized price. where what you basically need to see is this brown line. When this goes back above this, goes to the pink territory, that has marked historically an overbought zone, and similarly when we enter this green territory, we have marked the bear zone. And interestingly enough, if we look back into the history, during the COVID crash and during the bear market 2018 and 2016 bear markets, once we exit this green territory, this bear zone, we have rallied. And that is the same case. This indicator got triggered just a couple of days back, and we have moved out of this green zone. Whether we're going to come back again into this is a question to be asked. I don't know, but we have moved out. So probability wise, there is a possibility for us to rally in the weeks ahead. The next in line is I want to just compare the technical analysis charts of the S&P 500 and the crypto markets. If we see the highs that we made in the end of previous year to the lows that we made this year, we crashed about 23% in the stock markets. Whereas in the crypto market so far, we have crashed about 75%. That's quite a good indication for what is a risk off asset. While the opposite is also true. From the recent weeks, we have rallied about 12% in the stock markets, whereas in the crypto markets, we have rallied about, I think it's 20-30. Oh, wow, it was about 40%. So, this is where the wealth generation is. People are flocking from the boring stock markets and parking a portion of their wealth in the crypto markets. So the volatility, is a psychology that, brings people into the ecosystem. So, however, on a weekly basis, we are in an, we are still in a, how do you say that? The oversold territory, but on a daily basis, we are in overbought territory. So in the days ahead, there is a good chance for us to have some kind of correction. The next in line is the US XMR USD chart. I see, interestingly enough, we are forming a cup and handle formation. What that means is when the price goes and forms a resistance levels, comes back, forms a support, and goes back again to those resistance levels, then that is the cup. And then when it comes back to a higher low, which typically was found to be around $120, and also the levels I've been talking about $180 as a support. So we come back towards that, and then we stay in a range, consolidate, and then we move back higher. And the price target that I see is about $400. That's something to do with 30 to 60% of the price range of the cup is what we rally towards after the handle is formed, but we need to consolidate. But again, I'm seeing around $180 as a price resistance, and $120 is great support. And it's important for us to reach these levels and rally with really, really good volumes. So that's what I'm keeping an eye on. And the last thing in line is the US inflation numbers. The inflation peaked about 9.5%. The RSI is indicating that the inflation has to come down, and the Fed also raised the interest rates. So all in line, looks like Bitcoin likely bottomed, but we need to have more data going forward. That is all from my side for this weekly price report. I hope you enjoyed and have a great weekend ahead.
Very nice, very nice.
Oh, look, Fungible,
we have him here for a quick second.
Hello. I mean, it's so well done, man. Is he there?
Thank you. Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah.
We got silence.
It's great, man. Great overview. It's a great overview of the what's going on in general. These are exciting times, right?
Yeah, it's in fact funny times. We don't know what's ahead, but looks like the trend is pretty much matching what we have seen before.
Were you always following the economy like this, or was it only once you got into crypto?
I mean, I've been doing some. I've been in stock markets last 10 years before crypto, so I've been following on and off. But I think more so when I got into crypto.
So, like in 2008, you were looking at the markets. Like
yeah, I was doing these, derivatives, future and options. So I used to play quite a bit with options
oh wow.
from 2010 onwards. But I got into crypto somewhere in late 2016. I think that is when, this money and state kind of concept comes into the picture, and then you start looking beyond. So I think that is when I started looking.
What do you think is ultimately? Do you think we're going through some kind of major transition right now in terms of, you know, the global economy in general? Like it feels like, things just are completely out of whack, right? Or is this just are we going to continue as this and we'll just somehow sustain?
You mean in terms of going into recession?
Yeah, I mean, well, like inflation is insane
Ye-
right now, right? It's not
Yeah,
sustainable.
yeah.
Right?
So
Like,
inflation is almost 10% now. It's quite a lot. I think I've not seen that kind of inflation
and that's
this
just not the
way.
US, right? It's higher in other
Yeah,
places like in
yeah.
Europe, right?
Yeah, it's higher, and it's pretty much the same in Europe. It's higher in other places, more developing countries. Um, but yeah, I think inflation, at least for the short term, has peaked. At least in the US, what I see. And I mean, that's what, right? The government is doing all they can to kind of control it by raising the interest rates.
Right. But
And
ultimately I'm saying you think we're gonna like it's just we're gonna come back to normal and this is just, the normal
uh,
cycle, or this like we've spun out
um,
of control and they're not gonna
well,
be
I think in terms of interest rates, I think the developed economy like US, I think they will come back to normal in terms of inflation rates at some point.
Mhm.
But I think the domino effect is already following. That is, all the some of the developing countries like Turkey and other countries, they have really really high inflation numbers. I
Mhm.
think they're going to really really fall down first. I think US will be last in the line. That's
And
why it's still the reserve currency.
right, right. And like you said, it's really all coming down to politics, right? So like the administration wants to keep the stock market propped up, right? I mean, what's their strategy? Like they can only fight inflation so much because they risk tanking the market.
Exactly. Yeah. So they are trading with care. Also, this I think the midterm elections coming up in US,
Yeah.
and the reason I talk about US is because it is the country which has historically triggered recession per se.
Hmm, hmm.
So yeah, I think midterm elections coming up in November, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So they don't want us to officially go into recession. Otherwise, they will lose.
Right, but it's kind of forcing them to make bad decisions in terms of with how they should be dealing with inflation. I don't know, in my opinion. I feel like the inflation is the larger issue.
I mean, contrary to what people say, I think they are trying to do their best,
Hmm.
but they are unable to do their best.
Yeah. And then what do you think of all this money printing that's going to be taking place now with the legislation that they're passing? Basically,
Oh, I didn't follow this. What
well,
happened?
there's like new spending bills coming out.
Oh,
I
okay.
forget the names. It's like crazy names. It's like, but basically, it's just they're writing checks,
No, I also,
corporate money
also
for
you
it.
have this website called the US debtclock.com or something,
Hmm.
where you can see the debt continuously going up. So I think it's already around 30 trillion, right?
Yeah,
And I think it's just going up. Trend is up. So I mean, they can slow down on the pedal, but it's still being accelerated. So.
we need a Monero transaction count clock somewhere big on a billboard somewhere. We gotta get cake on that. Maybe in Times Square.
Yeah, that is the analogy to Bitcoin's price clock, right? We had used to have that around.
It is so exciting to watch the Monero transaction count just continue to climb. That's I think we're in a good position there, right? Seems like we keep hitting all new all-time highs.
To be honest, I don't really read into these all-time highs. I would rather read into a smoothed average of the transaction count because that kind
Mm.
of gives you a better trend. Because anybody can just do a transaction, take it up
Yeah.
to.
But at some point, you're going to start to see it really go exponential, right? I mean, because it's more if it's truly is organic growth that's happening with
Hmm.
each new node or person that's added, it greatly increases the amount of transactions happening on the network. So it's growing at an exponential rate. You never really saw that with Bitcoin because it capped out, you know. because of the block size. But
yeah, I think, but I really, I mean, I'm waiting for the day to see when people will actually start using Monero in like regular retail shops. I don't see that really happening. It's within the community, with
yeah, I mean, well,
people.
that's the point I was trying to make. I see no reason why that can't start to happen. It says it's the same psychology that's involved with people going from using WhatsApp or whatever they were using as a messenger to using Signal, and people did it. Like, and normal people are using Signal. They're like, oh well, no, it's private. So it's like that same, thing could happen with transacting, where we just see people start to opt for the private option, because it's like, why not? And that's where Monero can really step in and be that solution.
That's why I think a little differently. I mean, yes, I think I agree with you on that. The only thing is it will also depend on the volatility of the price of Monero. If it stays somewhat constant for a long time, I think that is the point where adoption can really take place. But if it starts jumping around, going from 100 to 300 to 400 to back to 100, I think.
Well, here's an idea, right? Like, so Cake is integrating the gift card thing, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to make it pretty seamless to spend Monero. I mean, it's getting there. So like you could effectively go into a store or whatever. You go into Starbucks, you pull up the Starbucks gift card. The person says, your order's $4.56, and you can instantly buy a gift card for that, and you purchase. That really starts to make it useful, right? And then maybe you get to the point where your bank can be tied in on the other side, and you're basically seamlessly purchasing Monero with fiat at that point, and then using it instantly to make a purchase. Like, just an example of like,
personally, I've never used gift. Personally, I've never used gift cards, so I don't know how that really works.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to see how that plays out.
Well, hey, Fungible, I'm taking up too much time. We got our special guest.
All right, thank you so much, and see you offline. Ciao.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for jumping on. Okay, let's move on to the guest segment. The Monerotopia guest segment is sponsored by Cake Wallet. Store, send, receive, and exchange your Monero and Bitcoin safely on iOS and Android too. Cake Wallet is open source, and you always control your own keys. Hello.
Hi. What's going on?
Sorry for taking so long.
No, thank you for the invite. I feel honored to be here.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I am just chatting it up today.
He just chats too much.
But I'm having a great time. So.
Every Saturday.
And now I see we have dMartian. I mean, me and him, we could go for days.
I know. So we're going to...
This might be a long one, guys. Sunita might bail at it.
Yeah, I might leave and then come back and,
What's going on, man? Thanks for jumping on.
Hey, thank you for this space. And I have to say that I admire your efforts for adoption. And I think you're doing a great job. And yeah, thank you.
Awesome, man. You too. You're out there doing your thing. You're helping in your own way. You sell like stickers and like Monero swag, right?
I used to sell stickers. I started to sell stickers, but then I said, for this to be a real business, I'd have to sell thousands. Why not just give it for free? I love this community, and I love the Monero vibe. And I love the screw the system vibe and just privacy. So I said, I changed the website a little bit. I'm making the designs, and you can download them for free. Just ready to go to any.
Hold on. Let's pull up the website. I haven't seen it in a while, actually. I think you gave us a bunch of stickers at some point, right?
I haven't.
Oh, okay.
I'll be happy to.
Somebody gave us a bunch of stickers.
I forget who it was. Yeah.
I'll be happy to.
But wait, let's pull up the website.
Let's pull up the website. Let's share the screen.
Actually, I was about to quit the project.
Ooh, nice website.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful, man.
Cypherpunks and privacy lovers, welcome.
You were gonna quit?
Yeah, because of privacy. I like to practice a a technique that's called snake skin, that I open an account for a couple of months and then just go, and that way I compartmentalize. But this dude from Majestic Bank said, "I really love your work. Let's partner up." And I love his project. He's a non-KYC exchange. And yeah, he supports me, and we work together, and I do this on the side.
Oh, awesome, man! Love to see that happen.
So
the Monero economy in action.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't felt such satisfaction in a long time. To receive Monero gives me a high that few substances give me.
Yeah, no, tell me about it. That's what keeps me going. It's just such a fun project to work on, right?
I know, and it's like you're not falling for the system for one time, right?
Right.
For once you're having really private transactions, sovereign transactions. I love Monero for that.
The potential reward is tremendous if we get this thing fully up and running, where it's a global utility. It's just
that's what I was typing when you were chatting with aFungible. I think Monero will never be the main payment option, but for sure there will always be an avenue for Monero. There will always be an avenue for cash and for private transactions at all levels, from politicians to people who just want privacy, to people who want to buy illegal stuff, right? There will always be a user case for cash, and they're making cash illegal. In Israel, they just made payments for over $2,000 in cash illegal.
I know, I saw that. Crazy.
That's terrible. Yeah, terrible. And
I mean, they're doing that all over it's happening all over the world.
That's the tendency to make cash illegal.
Yeah.
And there's no turning back. And I think Monero is our only hope.
This is the meme that we already are focused on it, but even focused on it more, because it's such a universal concept. Everybody understands cash. So then to just take them from that thought to realizing governments are getting rid of it, it will no longer be. I don't think people really are realizing like legit cash will not exist.
People are asleep. They're not understanding the consequences of having everything controlled. At one time, they're going to freeze your bank account, and since there's no cash, you're going to go hungry because there's no way of buying food.
Exactly. Right. That's the zeitgeist we're trying to tap into when we go to these liberty conferences, like the Libertarian Convention we went to, and the Freedom Fest, and now this Revolution 2020. That's the thing I talk to everybody about, because they get that, and then explain how Monero is probably the best shot we have at building a digital version of cash.
Yeah. I didn't used to be like this. I used to be skeptical until one time I got my account frozen because of a stupid detail, and I said, "This is for real. If you don't have control over your finances, you're nobody. You can be abused by the government without a doubt." So going back to the site that you're seeing,
beautiful. Love it.
Thank you. Yeah. So you can download any PDF for free and go to any Office Depot and print them, so that I don't have to send them to you, or you don't have to wait for the shipping or anything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Awesome.
So you don't send out any physical stickers anymore?
Well, yeah, I can send you some, but I think it's way cheaper for you to go and print them. But
yeah, that's awesome,
because the shipping takes time, and it's international shipping, and
it takes a very long time.
You getting some decent volume, some people come and buying stickers?
Yeah, I am getting a lot of hits. Yeah,
awesome.
Definitely.
Oh,
the donation part, I wasn't expecting too much, really. Whoever contributes, I'm very grateful. But I'm not doing this as a business, really. I'm doing this because I love the I haven't been disidentified with a community ever. I think I just love the cypherpunk ambience.
Yeah, man, I couldn't agree with you more. I was just thinking ideas as you were talking, you know, like trying to incentivize people to get stickers and put up more stickers. I think it's fun. Of all crypto, I feel like there's a real a real sticker culture in Monero. It's kind of funny, right?
Yeah. I haven't gone. I haven't seen any stickers myself from anybody else, but one day I will, and I'll be proud of my community. Have you guys seen a Monero sticker in the wild?
Yeah, but we never know who put it up. You know, we see a lot of them in New York and Brooklyn and Queens and random little parts of New York City.
Yeah, last summer definitely.
That's amazing.
Some people went around.
Somebody was on rollerblades. Yeah. We go for walks with my daughter, and she's on the bike, and we find Monero stickers. So
I know she gets excited.
Put one up over there.
She gets excited putting them on.
Well, she doesn't put them on. She finds.
She finds them.
Yeah.
She doesn't put them on. I'm kidding. What am I talking about?
Cool, man. What do you think of? What is your because you mentioned you don't see Monero as being the one and only whatever. What is your kind of your whole crypto thesis? What do you see the landscape as becoming?
I think we've passed the point of no return where there's financial surveillance and it will be pressed hard. So I think it's a fact that we will have the CBDCs very soon, and cash made completely illegal and everything just by the system. I think that will be the way of payments. I think Bitcoin is stupidly overpriced. I mean, the amount of transactions that go on in Bitcoin versus Monero and the price, somebody is very wrong. Either Monero should be $4,000 or Bitcoin should be 10. But that's I'm no analyst. That's my personal opinion. But yeah, I think Monero will always have a use case, and since it's illegal everywhere, or not delisted everywhere, and people cannot leverage so much, I think the price is very organic, very real. I think it's a bit underpriced, but I do think Bitcoin is extremely overpriced. So crypto-wise, I do not see with all its flaws, I do not see Bitcoin being the king for a lot longer. I'm very thankful for it being the pioneer and everything that it did. But we're starting to see the flaws with the truckers and the Argentina issues that's going on, and tainting. So I think its time has already happened, and it's now time for privacy coins to succeed, because that was what Bitcoin was doing at the beginning in darknet markets, and
So what role will different cryptos play? Will it be numerous different cryptos trying to beat digital cash, or there'll be one digital cash utility, and then other cryptos are going to be providing other use cases?
Yeah, I think nothing is permanent, and especially in the tech world. So I see Monero as the king for a long time. I don't think that it will be the king forever. I don't know how long, but it will be the king of private transactions, in my humble opinion. And there will be a small market of Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin and maybe Lightning Network. But I think crypto will be made transparent. And if it's not private, I don't see crypto succeeding for a long time because of the tendency I'm seeing with the government. I know if I explain myself.
Awesome, man. I'm enjoying your perspective.
Yeah, sometimes I think I rant too much, but
I don't know. It's with the hat and the glasses. It feels like it's coming from a guy who knows what he's talking about.
On my map.
He's a real pirate. Awesome. Well, let's do the news because we'll cover
news.
some of the things you actually brought up with Israel trying to eliminate cash, etc. We got the news report with Tony. Monero Boating Club. Hang around if you can, because then we'll continue the conversation with everybody.
Yeah,
of course.
All right, cool. Awesome. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you. All right. I love it. Hi,
Tony's like just chilling. He's living the life right now. Where are you?
I'm in Romania, in a mountain right now, in a cabin.
Damn.
Yeah, he's in the mountains.
But you were all over. I saw pictures in Spain. We're in Greece, right?
I went to Greece so far and a couple of cities in Romania. And whenever I go, I try to stick a Monero sticker. I've got some gratuitous stickers that I'm sticking. I try to take pictures and post them on.
See them, right? You're not sticking them yourself. You're seeing them.
Right. You're finding them.
You're finding them.
No, I'm actually sticking them.
No. You're not doing that.
He's like,
oh yeah. I just found. Yeah. Sorry, my internet is bad too. So you guys are kind of lagging sometimes, but that's fine. But no.
We're just kidding.
Yeah, I just found them. I just found them.
Yeah. I mean, you do that in Singapore. They'll chop your hands off.
Oh my God, yeah, that's right.
Put up
It's fine there. Like years ago when I went there, it's like chewing gum. Fine is like I don't know $800, and you go to jail for like a day. I was like, holy shit.
There's a dystopian for you.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You have to actually be careful. Yeah.
So, what's going on, man? You what's the news? How are we doing the news this week? You have a pre-recording, or you're just gonna go ahead and do it live?
He's gonna do it.
So we'll do it live, but the thing is, I thought I
will be sharing it on my end. Yeah, because it's on his iPad.
Okay.
But I'll bring my laptop next time, and it's not gonna be a problem. I just didn't know. I thought I could do it from the iPad, but I don't see any option. So we'll just do it through.
Yeah, we'll do it through.
All
right, do it. There you go.
Yeah, so we'll do it this way. Perfect. Okay, let's see. Okay, so for the first article that we have for this week, Wikipedia is changing the definition of recession. And if you can actually click on the first link, on the first picture, actually, sorry. So that was before. That was on July 11th. That was before they changed, before they made any changes. And you had, the proper definition of recession. But now if you go into the next picture, which on July 28th, there is no global consensus on the definition of a recession. So they're trying to basically change definitions history so that it accommodates the current, mindset and.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Yeah. I forgot about that story. This is like Ministry of Truth type stuff, right?
Yeah, essentially, yeah. And obviously Wikipedia is not the best place to get your information from, but now we can truly see that they are actually changing definitions. And I've actually seen it to Monero too. They had, I think, some misinformation at some point, because I was reading the Wikipedia on Monero. I think they had some misinformation. So things like this are very interesting to see, for sure.
And isn't it? It's like locked, right? Where you can't like easily.
Yeah, it's locked.
Yeah, the page is not locked. That's nuts.
So wait, what did they, in summary, what would they change it? What's the new definition now?
So the new definition is that there's no global consensus on what an actual recession is, when we know with indicators for a recession, but now they're trying to make it seem like, it's kind of vague. No one really knows, what a recession is when we do know, So they're
the new definition is that there is no definition of recession. That's crazy.
Yeah, like there is no proper definition, it's just so it's crazy. It's crazy to be honest. Yeah. And now if we go on to the next thing for Monero transactions, we've actually hit 46,000 transactions in a single day, which is a lot. That's a lot. We're close to 50,000, and this is a bear market, and Monero is going up in price, is going up in transactions. And which is an amazing thing. Plus, again, we talked about it in the third space yesterday, but I'm super excited about the Cake Wallet implementation with the gift cards, because this is really going to drive the transactions, daily transactions even higher. So we're gonna hit 50K soon, for sure.
Yeah, we were talking to aFungible about this. This is the most exciting, obviously the most exciting aspect or metric of Monero, right? I mean, the transaction count just keeps on climbing.
Yeah, and it's, it proves that, because obviously a lot of people don't know about Monero, and the one that actually know about Monero, which is still a lot of people, they actually use it. So it really shows. And I think we fit, I think we have the link here too. We've actually hit 20% of Bitcoin's transactions, 20%. And this is a $3.5 billion market cap versus Bitcoin, which is, I forget how much it is right now, but 20%, that's a lot for such a small coin, you know? So yeah, this is super, super exciting too. Now this one is, I think, is the biggest. The next one is the biggest.
Okay. Just let me know. Give me a heads up when you want me to click on the next one.
Oh yeah, big story.
Yeah,
this just dropped yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I think yesterday. Yeah, I was shocked. I mean, that's super good thing, because this thing used to be a big argument, I guess, against Monero for some time. People used to bring this up a lot. But basically, what happened is that we said minor XMR, which used to have a huge hash rate. I think at one point they almost had 50% or maybe over, I can't remember, but they had a huge amount of hash rate, and obviously we want to be as decentralized as possible, and they're actually shutting down in August 12th. And yeah, they are referring members to use peer-to-peer pool. So that's super amazing. And
yeah, that's awesome. It was just odd that the natural migration wasn't happening already, because you literally save fees when you use P2P pool. And my understanding is now it's like as easy to set up as just running your node or whatever, just self mining on the client. So it's like built into the GUI at this point. So it's like, it's odd that we weren't seeing more people move over already, but now people are essentially going to be forced, right? Unless they now just choose another pool, which would be strange. So this is exciting to see. In theory, everybody should move over. I mean, I'd love to have somebody, if anybody, understands the mining ecosystem really well, please jump on after this. We'd love to talk to somebody, because I'm curious, like, do you think we'll see a drop in hash rate? I mean, we'd have to, right? And then are all those people going to instantly remigrate back onto the network using either a new pool or P2, or is there going to be like a lag?
That's actually a very good question. That's a very good
part of the Monero mining network,
Yeah, and sorry if I cut you sometimes, but it's just my internet is so bad right now. So sorry if I cut you off sometimes.
Oh, you're doing great.
Okay. That's a very good point. That's a very, very good point. Well, we've seen that with China last year with Bitcoin, where they had to, all the Chinese miners had to move to other jurisdictions, other locations. So yes, we're gonna see a hash rate drop, I'm pretty sure. I mean, and until they migrate. And I'm curious to see how fast we're going to regain that hash rate again. I don't think it's gonna take that long to regain it, but very interesting to see the charts on this.
Yeah, no, overall we come out a more decentralized network. It's beautiful. Like, people are gonna move to P2 pool. It's amazing. Like, that's the ideal. It's like we're reaching another ideal in Monero.
Yeah, and I've actually seen one person mine Monero with solar panels, I think yesterday, which was super cool.
I saw that pop up too.
Yeah. Okay, so we can go on to the next thing now. Yeah, so this is huge actually. So essentially, and you can actually click on the link too. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so obviously countries are trying to prevent you from using more stable currencies. And the dollar is more stable than what they have. Obviously, it's not a stable, currency, but it's better than what they have. So essentially, Bitcoin traders are restricted from buying dollars. So I guess you you have Bitcoin, you put it on a central exchange, and then you can't get dollars from it, from that.
Yeah, it's crazy. They don't want people to, leave their capital. So Bitcoin does not solve that problem, which it was supposed to, right? That was supposed to be one of the use cases for Bitcoin, is that you could move your money anywhere without censorship. So it's not working.
No, it's not working.
I mean, they wouldn't be able to do this with Monero, right? How would they because if you bought Monero, I mean, obviously maybe Monero is, I don't know what the situation is with obtaining Monero on a centralized exchange, but if you did and then you had it, and then you wanted to go, get dollars, it would be, well, I mean, it depends where you're getting them, right? I'm saying in this scenario where you want to do like a local Monero thing, right, and trade for cash, which, I mean, I guess you could do that with the Bitcoin, but it's riskier. I don't know. What do you think? Or is this a problem? How does Monero? I don't know. Does Monero fix this, or it would be hard even with Monero, right?
No, I think it does fix it, but the problem is that if you're using local Monero, essentially you can buy or sell crypto using gift cards, your actual card, which is obviously not the best idea. You don't want to do that.
Right.
Exactly.
You'd be able to get into gift cards and things like that. With Bitcoin, you'd be leaving a trace there if they were really cracking down.
Yeah. So, I mean, they do have it's way better with Monero because even if I guess they could buy gift cards and do it this way, if peer-to-peer is harder, there's not enough people that want, or that you can't just meet with someone in person. Even in Florida, it's pretty hard to actually just meet with someone in person and give physically the cash and get the Monero. I'm not sure how it is in Argentina, but it's obviously way better with Monero. And buying Monero also, it's not, if they have ATMs, you can just, we talked about it yesterday in the space, you can wear some glasses and a mask and the camera won't see who you are. And then use a fake phone number for the verification, and they can have your Monero.
Yeah, but we're saying in this scenario, we're trying to get out of crypto back into cash. So I don't really. So I guess it's easier for them to do on an exchange, right? So they could basically say anybody that has crypto on exchange can't then transfer that into dollars, right? But it's I wonder, are you allowed? I wonder if they're allowing people, like if you have a crypto stable coin, like whatever, like a Tether or something, are they allowing that to be transferred into dollars? It
does say Bitcoin traders, but yeah, that's a good question.
Then that would be another thing, right? Because then you can pull off your Monero, go into a decentralized exchange, turn it into a stable. I don't know, but I guess we don't know enough. Yeah, if anybody knows more about that, anybody in Argentina that's being affected by this,
jump on viewers on stage segment.
Yes,
big news
though. This one is big. This one is a new Monero market to buy and sell legal items. Which is going to be released in 1 week, and there's a couple pictures.
What is
how the market is going to look like.
That's very cool. We've been talking about that.
Yeah.
I mean, we had that other guy that was trying to do something similar, but I don't know if he built in the multi-sig world, right? Because they're saying they've achieved that.
That is cool.
It's very cool. I'm not sure. I talked to the guy, and I'm not sure if he actually achieved that because it's been a couple of weeks since we talked about it. But it's we have marriage sale, we have I think it's called Ghostnet and our Monero market. So I'm actually super happy to see a bunch of different websites which are trying to achieve similar things. And what can you buy so far? You can buy a vehicle, which is $4. These are just tests, obviously.
Yeah, this is just
we need to see one of these get really popular. It'd be cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. That'll be cool. This thing. So
this thing.
again, more rules on transactions with cash. And that's in Israel, and
well, they're just getting rid of cash. Yeah, so they're slowly reducing the amount of cash you can transact with. Insane. I mean, and they say their reason is because
well, this is happening right now in Israel. That's
breaking up.
I think he's lagging a little.
He's lagging.
Okay, it's good now. That's not a good reason. Am I lagging hard?
No, you're
back
fine.
now.
You're back. You're back.
Is it better now?
Yes, it's better now.
Okay. I'm not gonna be in the mountains next week, so I'm actually gonna have stable internet next week.
We're jealous right now.
Yeah, man.
It's very beautiful. Over there. But yeah. So essentially, Israel is doing this. India is working on this. A lot of countries in the west of Europe have achieved this. Netherlands, if you use cash in Holland, you kind of seem like as a criminal, or not that, but it's being frowned upon, I guess. Like, they really want you to use cards. The thing about what I like about Eastern Europe is that we still have a cash dominant society, so a lot of people use cash, not a lot of cards. It's ingrained into the culture, but so, and also because of how I guess bad the governments are, it's going to take such a long time to even get the technology to do things like this, like to get rid of cash and have the proper systems to have more online payments. So that's in a way a good thing. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's horrible to say. I mean, it's good for Monero. It gives Monero
it's good for Monero.
I saw, what was it, in Norway, where they're passing basically legislation to get all the data on from grocery stores on what people buy, so they would know everything that everyone buys at grocery stores, because they want to use that data for improving things. Is like, it's crazy. It's insane. And it's happening all around the world, in all countries. They're all moving in this direction.
I guess, like, if you buy bugs, you get bonus points or something like that.
You buy bugs.
It's insane what's happening right now. They're not waking up. I mean, they will, but it's gonna be too late. So it's gonna be very chaotic once they do.
I mean, they're slowly realizing. I mean, the signal thing's so simple, but
yeah,
they're getting there. But all right, let's. I think that was the last one. The last link you sent me.
Yes, that was the last one.
Awesome, man.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
We're gonna move to viewers.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, let's do that. Yes,
Tony.
Thank you so much for reporting straight from the mountains.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Where he pops up next,
I don't know. I guess we'll find out next week. He's lagging.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Later,
Enjoy.
man. Yeah,
he's lagging.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, bye-bye. All right, so let's move on to the Viewers on Stage segment, my friends. It's the Viewers on Stage segment. It's that time where we invite you, the viewers, up on stage to comment on anything you've heard so far today, ask the guest a question, or maybe talk about one of the news topics. Come on down. Every time.
All right. We got dMartian.
We got the gang. And I put the link in the chat, so for those that
anybody else want to jump on
and join in,
anybody that has insight into Monero mining network and what might happen now that they're closing that pool. Are people going to move over to P2 pool? Is it going to happen seamlessly? I'd like to hear some opinions on that. What's going on, guys? What's up, dMartian?
Hey, I'm going to give it to you. And this is great, because previously, I mean, Monero and other cryptocurrencies are so complicated that people need to establish a base. And in all our hours of conversations, what we've done previously is just establish a base. Now we need to find the friction. let's find the interesting thing now. Now let's find something cool. Like you said, so you want to see what's going to happen with Bitcoin. I think, and we were talking about this yesterday. Were you actually paying attention to that streaming on yesterday?
I was in and out because I was doing other things, but I heard most of it. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So and yeah, no, everybody said this is cool. So the idea is that people keep trying to speculate what's going to happen to Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. Like, is it going to be? Are the fees going to be enough? What's going to happen? Is it going to be 21 million forever? I say it. The real reality is that it depends on their ability to identify new solutions and adapt to new solutions and be willing to adapt to new solutions at the time that it happens. So let's say something's not working. They find a new solution and they adapt. They have all the developers, they have all the investments, they have everything behind them. And right now, what makes sense for Bitcoin is for them to not change. To not change, because there's so many people in the world that are doing things. It's like, hey, can you make this change to help me with my little startup? No, you adapt your startup to work with Bitcoin. That's the way that Bitcoin thinkers work. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Stay the same, stay the course. Let's just do that and just like proceed. And at the same time,
that's great in theory, but if your system isn't sustainable, then you'd be forced to change.
That's why Lightning Network came about.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry. I thought we'd find some friction. Now you're actually, I'm been leading you to think the real. You actually caught it on. So what's the next thing?
Well, what do you mean? What's the next thing? What's gonna happen? What you mean with regards to what happens with?
Do you think Lightning will be the solution?
No, you know me. I'm Monero, right? So like my take on this with Bitcoin is that I see Monero as arguably having a more certain and predictable emission schedule in perpetuity than Bitcoin, because of this fact that the risk exists with Bitcoin as to whether or not they're going to need to add a tail emission. Whether or not they actually do isn't even the issue. It's just that it adds this doubt, and there's a risk there that it might happen. And so Monero is arguably more quote unquote capped. It's not capped, but it's more stable in relying on the fact of what its emission curve will be in perpetuity, because there would be no likely reason to why we would ever have to change Monero's emission schedule. So it's more fixed, and I think that's the real insight there. And then whatever really happens with Bitcoin, we don't know, but just the fact that doubt exists takes away from the fundamental argument that Bitcoin is more secure than Monero. That's my overall take on that issue. But what do you think?
It's a great argument, and I'm actually on your side. I think that if I were to take the Bitcoin argument as a lawyer, which I'm not, so you're a lawyer and you're a great one, and I'm a rocket scientist, and this is a weird combination. So I'm gonna try to be you. I'm gonna say
I want to hear the rocket scientist. Go ahead.
Yeah, I will. You can do that later. So I hear you saying that, but you're picking like a niche kind of a situation where you're trying to find like certain people working a certain way. And I think what Bitcoiners do, and this is actually the words that Bitcoiners use, is that they say that they try to keep things stable as a result of trying to let people work with something that is predictable.
Yeah.
Predictable. So if you have a startup, you can't make you could make a choice to say, make Bitcoin work for you. Okay, why not work with Bitcoin? as everybody in the world has to do. It might not be perfect, but you need to work with Bitcoin because everybody else does.
Right. I find the lack of criticism of Bitcoiners toward Bitcoin the biggest flaw. They think it's fungible. They know it's fungible and it cannot get better, so it won't get better.
I kind of disagree, man. I think BTC with Lightning Network is going to get better, as we're starting to see in the crypto news that more people are starting to use Lightning and more merchants are starting actually to accept it. So I would kind of hold off on, wait a minute, let's see if Lightning, give it a few years, let's see what's going to happen with Lightning first. That's just my take on it. I still think Monero's going to be better in the long run, but I think Lightning fixed a lot of the issues that Bitcoin had.
Brother, what do you have to say about when people actually try? So people try to get ahead of the times by understanding what things actually work like. And then they try to say, okay, if it's going to work like this, then where's it going to go? People that have done that already have found that there's no privacy.
Yeah, there's no privacy. I agree with that. But you're going to have those group of people that just doesn't give a damn about privacy. I mean, look at all the TikTokers that we have on social media. Do it looks like they care about privacy? Absolutely not.
But what are you then even using Bitcoin for? Why is it? Might as well be using, I don't know, one of these other PayPal or anything else. Like what becomes the use case of Bitcoin? That's the thing. It's not really trying to be digital cash, and Lightning LN doesn't really take you there.
The end result is when someone is just using Monero because it keeps working. I use Monero. I got some Monero. Somebody gave me Monero, and now I'm using Monero, and now it's working. And then someone else is like trying to tell you to do some other thing. It's like, oh, it's not private. It's like some weird thing. Like, no, people like cash. People like cash.
Right. Like, you might as well just be using Venmo then, right? Like why is everybody going through all this trouble to use Lightning and Bitcoin? Like, what are we doing? We're burning a ton of proof of work, but at the end of the day, we're just Venmo again. It needs to be true digital cash for the system itself to have value, to serve a use case. Otherwise, it's not really doing anything different than Venmo at that point.
I mean, I agree with you. I use Monero all the time, but my thing is I'm arguing for the people that use Lightning, and I'm going to take the devil approach here. So
I got you. Yeah.
From what I understand, go ahead.
I was gonna say so there's a big podcast. It's called What Bitcoin Did, and when this guy is the host, he kept getting people to like give him Bitcoin, and what he got was Bitcoin from Cash App, Bitcoin from PayPal, because they knew that like this guy was like slightly adequate. He's not a super nerd, but he's slightly adequate enough to just do simple traces. But like, hey, I could find all your shit. and so they what they did was they used these like centralized things, not decentralized, centralized things. Right. And the reason why is because I would rather trust. I know that those people won't give up my privacy as much as I could best trust myself to find privacy in Bitcoin. But if they use Monero, and frankly, when Bitcoiners have the option to use Bitcoin or Monero, they use Monero.
Yeah, like I said, I have no hatred towards that. I agree with everything you're saying, but I'm looking at it from their standpoint. Yeah, I've talked to some of these BTC Lightning Network people, and even I tested it out myself, and I thought, okay, it works. It goes pretty fast. I tried it on CoinCard, worked pretty well. I was like, okay. If you don't care about privacy, I tweeted about this. If you don't care about privacy, use a Lightning Network. Use a public blockchain. If you don't give a crap about freaking privacy, but if you care about privacy, use Monero. That's just my thing, because I believe every human should have a choice, whether it's good or bad, when it comes to their money. It's their money.
That begs the question. What? So does privacy matter?
It matters to the individual in my eyes. Depends on the individual.
So why should privacy matter to anyone?
Again, that's the individual choice, in my opinion. That's the way I look at it. It's kind of like the Android versus iPhone debate.
Yeah, but
it's an individual choice.
It's required to prevent tyranny, so it's not even a choice. It's like if we're gonna let everybody just give away their privacy, it hurts all of us because it allows tyranny to bleed into society. So it's like it's irresponsible. It's getting irresponsible to not be private as a citizen.
I when as far as your money goes, but you have all these social medias that aren't private. Twitter's a prime example. That's not private. That's centralized.
No, I know that's the problem.
TikTok's centralized. I mean, all Facebook, Meta, all these corporations are centralized. So I mean, those aren't private. So I mean, it's like okay, I agree that privacy matters when it comes to your money and stuff like that. But there are other things like, I mean, are you going to get rid of TikTok? How are you going to make that private? How are you going to make Facebook private? How are you going to make Twitter private? That's the.
Well, it's just making things where
we're giving away our privacy all the time.
Yeah, where they have less of our data, right? I mean,
I didn't say
I don't
that
know
that it mattered for TikTok to be private. I didn't say to use TikTok. I said privacy matters. So I actually would not use TikTok.
But I'm saying people use it every single day. So what I'm saying is people give away their privacy all the time. What I'm arguing is that your money should be private and what you buy should be private. But what I'm saying, there's a lot of people out there that are uneducated. They really don't care about privacy at all until they actually need it, until they're forced to need it.
Mm-hmm. You will always have the people who don't understand why you need privacy, and that's the people who use TikTok and Twitter without privacy.
No, Nitemare is making great points. I mean, we use Twitter. I use plenty of things that make me, not quote unquote private, but money is just one of the most fundamental things that you'd want to keep private, and there's just an easy option to do it.
Yeah.
The thing is,
we got a lot of people out.
I know.
I
want to give them a chance.
Yeah, we got.
I'm gonna shut up.
Gonbatfire. Oh, we got.
The thing is, what Doug just said.
Hold on, individual. Hold on 1 second. Sure. Is Justin Earnhardt? No. Who's that?
I want to say yes.
Yep, that's.
Yeah, that's.
Hey, Justin, what's going on, man?
Yeah, you don't have a picture.
Guys, I just want to give Justin the stage for a sec because I think he had. I don't know if you want to
announce something,
bring up some things, or maybe not.
Maybe not. Or he just wanted to chat.
Yeah, I mean, so as you all probably have known, given the MoneroCon announcement, he sounds like I jumped into the middle of a lively discussion. So good job, lively as always. I just wanted to give an update to show people where we were on the gift card things. We are actually expecting to launch this upcoming week, but there have been delays, and so we apologize for that. So I wanted to show you guys that we actually have something by showing a live demo, if that's okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
You're able to share, I think, on your end.
We interrupt this program.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is just to prove that I'm not like, I'm going to turn on the camera, and then I'm going to try and
share your screen.
See if
hold on, folks. Stay on.
Stay tuned.
We'll get back to the discussion.
Oh, we lost him. Oh, no. Yeah, your device is not connected. Justin can't hear me, but I see that he's there. But
it's going to be a great demo when it happens.
Justin,
these demos never work.
I know they never do. Oh, he disappeared. I'm sure he's like restarting his computer or something. So yeah, if you Gonbatfire, if you want to quickly say hi and introduce yourself.
Hi,
please.
Hello.
Yeah, so Argentinian here.
Argentinian, yeah. Okay.
Nice. I wanted to bring some insights on the latest news.
Yes.
So first, the thing with dollars is that, well, as you know, we have high inflation, and so dollars take a quite different role. So to protect ourselves from inflation, we use dollars. So by forbidding us from buying dollars, they are practically forbidding us from having savings, from storing wealth, to not have to depend on government help. So that's quite the issue. Well, it's not just Bitcoin; it's any cryptocurrency, because the main goal is to trap us in a dying currency to steal through inflation, and so cryptocurrency has been a way out. It has become quite popular. Stable coins are very popular here, and so they are trying to target that. And I think that Monero, I wouldn't say Monero fixes this, mainly because KYC is still a problem. So if you got Monero through KYC, well, it's the same thing. There is better privacy, but it's not enough to avoid these kind of sanctions. So always avoid KYC. But it does offer advantage over Bitcoin is that there is no chain analysis. So KYC is not the only way to dox yourself. So chain analysis is, I think, the biggest problem with Bitcoin. And Ethereum is even worse. So I think that's the main advantage of Monero.
Is there a strong local Bitcoin, local Monero community there?
Local Bitcoin is quite popular. Local Monero, at least on my city, I have been able to buy, but it's not that liquid yet. But the peer-to-peer market is it's huge. I mean, we just avoid local exchanges altogether. So we mainly use Binance, but because there's Justin.
There he goes.
We mainly use Binance because it's a foreign exchange that doesn't report to our government, but of course that's just temporary. So I'm hoping for Haveno. Actually, I'm super excited because I think that's the real solution long term.
KYC not me, bitch.
yeah. I use that a lot.
Justin. Hi, Justin. I think we're ready for you.
Hello. All right.
Yeah,
So I'm showing you. You can hear me fine, right?
Yes. I'm gonna try to see if we can.
Perfect.
Hilarious.
I know we're a hot mess. There you go.
Great.
No, I'm a hot mess too. So I'm trying to show you. This is my actual wallet here. You know how you used to swipe left to right to get to the receive screen, and we made it a button. Now instead, you swipe left to right, you get to Cake Pay gift cards.
Sick.
So we can click on that, and it pulls up a list of a bunch of gift cards. A bunch of different brands.
Ooh la la.
Quite a few. So let's buy AMC.
Yeah,
It says save 3% on that one. So let's hope this works with the live demo. It says a minimum $3, so let's buy $3 worth.
What movie? What movie did you watch last with that?
With $3, you probably can't buy much. Maybe you can get a water bottle for $3, but
or not even actually.
Okay, I'll buy. Let's say the bill was $3.18. Okay, so I'm spending $3.18. The 3% discount is reflected, so I'm only paying $3.08. If it was a restaurant, you could easily add a tip if you want. And I'm just gonna go through a purchase gift card. Let's hope this is quick. There we go. Confirm sending.
Ooh.
All right. There we go. Waiting. There we go. Gift card. Boom. For $3.18.
Now what? How anonymous is this? Like, I mean, on what level? Like, what is the?
So this is the information they have on me.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Wait. So it's your email?
Just your email.
And it's the same email every time. It's
Well, I mean, you can log out, and I mean, I don't know to what extent we can say people can use multiple accounts. We might not want to say that. I don't know what the term. I would say read the terms. We're working with the vendor to make sure. But ultimately,
this is good.
Yeah, it requires an email in order to purchase cards.
No, it's all good. Like even here, like our buddy Seth talking about like Simple IO.
So where in the world can you use it? Only in North America?
Only in the United States. We'll work on adding more, but just the US.
So please come back when you exit the US.
The only thing I don't like about this is now we're just gonna be spending so much Monero left and right. Like, let's go to the movies.
No,
It's not just the movies. It works.
With Monero to go to the movies.
No, it's for everything. I'll just want to we'll just be doing Monero gift cards everywhere.
The one downside, just to let you prepare yourself, we've been really working to try and make it so that these are the merchants you'd use regularly. So we're really pushing to get better grocery store options, because obviously everyone buys groceries.
Your sound is kind of fading away, Justin.
Yeah, you need Whole Foods on there.
We need Whole Foods on it. So it'll support Instacart, so you can like get groceries that way, but obviously things are more expensive there. So we're working to get other grocery stores.
This is opening day. They're gonna have more options later.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I just wanted to show.
Someone had a question here.
We have a thing. It works, and it works really well. Where it just shows the card there in a matter of seconds, even for that was XMR that I spent, but it also works just like that for Bitcoin and Litecoin as well. Okay, sorry. Question from Joe. Can't they trace the IP to your phone? I mean, yeah. If you connect to their server from your phone just directly, I mean, they're going to know your IP. So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Justin. That was a very nice demo. It was smooth, quick.
It was awesome.
Yeah, we're so close.
It's so close.
I know we promised people last week, so actually,
it's okay. You want to make sure it's perfect.
So we want to make sure that when you're the worst thing though is we don't want you to be checking out and for there to have a bug and then you're stuck there like standing at checkout like looking all weird. So we want to make sure it works every time.
Justin, we were talking about this idea of eventually, being able to seamlessly buy fiat. Buy Monero on the other end with fiat with your bank, and eventually, so even serving those that may not want to hold Monero but kind of use Cake in the future just as a tool for making daily purchases, somewhat anonymously in a more cash-like manner. Do you think that vision could ever be fulfilled?
So we haven't found a good way in order to get people onto Monero without KYC. Ultimately, so we are pursuing BlockBuy. We put it under a completely different brand to stress that it's not Cake itself. It's just going to be offered in Cake Wallet and other places where it just works like Wire or MoonPay, where you need to provide them with your info and then you can buy Monero. But it's very hard to properly offer a service where you can. Where everybody likes you, where you can have a bank account, put in money somehow, and then end up with Monero on the other end. It's possible. It's just without KYC, it's difficult. There are certainly some options with perhaps lighter KYC with pretty strict limits, but it's just and it also varies by country. Some people live in countries where it's very permissible, and others where it's far more restrictive. And in the U.S., it's somewhere in the middle. There are worse countries, but there certainly are better ones as well.
Hey, Justin, this one of the things that's really cool, and I know people that can accomplish things across borders and whatever, but not too long ago, all three of us, like Doug, and actually not four of us, because we got his wife too. All sitting here, like we were in person, and we were just like chatting about Monero, and you are here delivering this on the after hours. This was not pre-scheduled. This was not programmed, and this is one of the benefits that people get from people just like working together and talking together, and this is fantastic.
Oh yeah, definitely. Monerotopia.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Justin. Thanks for the update. Very exciting. So when do you think then it would actually go live?
We really are desperate to go live this upcoming week. Like we want it to be Tuesday. We really want it to be live.
All
right. Well, good luck.
We know that's how things work, and good luck to you, brother.
Soon.
do you guys think even with KYC, obviously we're not getting around that effectively anytime soon with regards to seamlessly going from your bank account obviously into Monero, but do you think it could still be a useful tool for people to just seamlessly transfer into Monero at times, so they don't have to keep all their wealth in Monero, so they kind of get that stable element, but then just in a very frictionless way move into Monero for when they want to start doing spending? And then that just becomes a tool for, better obfuscating your spends, and tied in with this gift card thing, it could be pretty effective. Justin, what do you think of that?
I mean, I think so. I mean, so there are definitely people that rightfully think you should not give your information to anybody if unnecessary. You know, you don't need to use a third party often to buy and sell things. But I also am a little pragmatic in the fact that, you know, buying Monero and withdrawing it is more like withdrawing cash from a bank. And there are certainly still advantages to using Monero, even if you are using, you know, service that knows your identity. So it, I guess I'm somewhere in the middle there, where I think that this is going to be a very useful tool for people who want to spend money like they're spending cash, but they can still do so on a digital means. And they can do so, I mean, not every merchant, obviously, but quite a few merchants out there in the US.
Yeah. Awesome. dMartian, what do you think, man?
I'm just listening, man. At this point, you know, I don't always have something else to say.
Individual A, I feel like we cut you off before. What's going on?
No, I was just going to jump on the privacy matters, or when does it matter topic. And I think the difference maker is if you have a choice. I mean, we can choose to use Twitter. We can choose to use whatever social platform which is not private. But the thing is, with Bitcoin and those other public ledger cryptos, there's no choice if you want to be private or not, you know, and that's the main difference. But yeah, it got cut off and we lost the thread, I think.
No worries, no worries. Anybody want to jump in? Monero Boating Club.
Yeah, what you were asking about, if you have no other option, is it worth it to buy KYC and use Monero for spending? I've had my fights with Seth for privacy. I think he's a very calm guy, but this is what makes him nuts. Because I think if you don't have any other option, you should buy while you can Monero with or without KYC. Obviously, try with no KYC. But it's better to have Monero with KYC than no Monero at all. At least you have some level of privacy.
Let me tell you about what I would do if I was a Monero millionaire. If I was a Monero millionaire, I would go on the darknet and like sell that weed, and then no one would know who I am.
I think as far as banks and with the whole ACH thing, I think that's a good ramp for now until at least, especially in the United States, I think that's a good ramp because I use it all the time. I use those atomic swaps BTC to XMR. That's how I get my BTC is through my ACH bank because obviously I can't buy it with my debit card or credit card being in New York, but I have an option which is ACH, so that's a good off ramp for me. But in other countries, I'm not sure. You may not have a choice.
You're welcome.
dMartian, you are a character, my man.
We'll need to do another interview.
We'll need to do another one, definitely.
All right. Yeah, we're already an
All
hour
right,
and a
guys.
half
Yeah,
in.
this is a long one.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to bring any last thoughts, comments?
What are your last
maybe on the situation in Argentina? I had network problems, so I couldn't jump on earlier. The thing is that the fight against crypto in Argentina is mandated by the IMF. They had the bailout contracts and whatever not, and in those contracts it stated that for the sake of financial stability, that's what they call it, it has to be discouraged the use of cryptocurrencies in Argentina. And this is what Argentina is doing right now. Yes, maybe to keep the people trapped in their inflationary currency, but this is not only Argentinian choice. This is the choice of those who give Argentina money. So it's a bigger thing.
Yeah. I mean, when we talk about going against the Argentinian government, some people say, well, they're it's a poor country. I mean, they don't have the tools, but they are backed by the IMF. So you have the United States power against crypto. So it's not a small deal.
Yeah, I read something like that on the news and stuff and on the interwebs about how the IMF and the United States are kind of attacking crypto secretly. Well, it's not really secret anymore, but yeah, they are attacking crypto. So, but I wanted to ask Doug and Sunita something though, real quick before we get out of here. Hey, Doug, Sunita, when are you guys gonna drop the announcement of Monerotopia 23? I mean, it's getting close to the end of the summer here. We're getting in the fall.
I know. We brought it up before. We don't know, man. We're trying to figure out where we want to do it.
Yeah.
So we're thinking
it's
of
definitely happening. We just don't know where. So
yeah, where and when. We're thinking of doing it alongside Bitcoin again in Miami, which would be in April, right? Or did they move it?
No, I think they moved it to May.
So that would be in May, and then we would do it.
Option.
Basically, what we want to do, we know what we want to do. We just don't know where and when. So we want it to be obviously similar to what the last one was, but on a larger scale, and we want to ramp up the whole vendor portion of it. We basically want it to be like PorcFest. I know I've spoken about PorcFest a lot on here, so I don't know how familiar everybody is, but it takes place on a campground in New Hampshire. It's a private campground. Thousands of, or many hundreds, I think thousands come, and the whole place gets filled. All the campsites get booked. People show up. They either camp in their tents or they have RVs, and then they just set up like vending areas, and they vend whatever they want to vend. And then there's just talks that are taking place primarily about like liberty focused topics. So we want to basically, do that for Monerotopia. So kind of have a Monero village going somewhere where we all come, we hang out. We'll have a conference like feature happening where talks are taking place. We'll have it'll be focused on Monero and free speech money and digital cash and freedom tech, and the free speech element. But the idea being that we'll be together for 3 days. People that bought tickets to Monerotopia and that are staying on site. You can vend if you want. You don't have to vend, but you're just there, and it's got this PorcFest element. And then maybe even allow like outsiders that aren't staying on the site to just come and like visit Monerotopia land, Monero Village as it's going on. So if we did it in Miami, we actually found a campground, and we're looking into renting it, but it's like 35 minutes probably from where the Bitcoin conference would be, because the hope would be maybe we could get some of those people to bleed over to Monerotopia and come check it out. So that's the current thought.
All right, that sounds great, man, because actually me and my wife will be in Miami in April, so we're moving down there, so we'll already be there. So just
So that it was like the ideal, or trying to do that same exact concept but somewhere else. So like doing it in, I don't know, Mexico, doing it in wherever, in Argentina, doing it in New York City. There's reasons why it might make sense to do it here. So it's really more about location and time. We know what we want it to be. It's just finding the right spot and time.
Hey, Doug, I met this most beautiful reporter, and I'm not sure that she was hired for that upon those reasons, but but like when I talked to her about my weekend, and we were there in this like epic like thing in Miami. We were talking about just like where we're from, and she's like, I wish I was there, but my producer couldn't say that I could go there. Like it was like they said it was like a no-go because we're just like a bit too hot for the taste. But at the same time, like she was like, I want to go there. I really want to go there.
I'm not sure how to even respond to respond.
Next year, Monerotopia.
Okay, so where do you think we should have it, man? You have any thoughts based on what I was saying?
New York City.
I know, that'd be beautiful.
New York City. You gotta do it. Like so what we did like first year was first off, it was fantastic. I learned more from the I can't even say that. I love the speakers, and I love the participants. They're all wonderful. And as a result, I was like, wow, like suddenly I'm normal. Before I thought I was like this weirdo that's like just into like different ideas.
Are you gonna present? You should definitely.
I would love to. Hey, I would love to. I would. But if it was in New York, here's the thing: is that like, sir, you got to regroup. So first thing, first things first. When you're in a hot spot, you got to regroup. So we went to Miami. Next thing's next. We're going on the offensive. Next, we're going on the offensive. We're going to New York. Yeah,
that's kind of the way I was thinking about it too.
I mean, personally, for me, I would vote for either a more freedom state, a more crypto state, Florida or Texas. New York could be fun, but I'm a beach guy, so I like the beach and the sand. So, that's why I'm choosing Florida personally.
That's true. I like the beach too. I mean, this campground wouldn't be on the, but this campground's pretty cool. You want to bring it up? Should we? Actually, maybe you don't. Yeah,
let's not. Because we don't know
it's
yet.
pretty cool. It's got like a pool, and then they have like cabins that we can rent out. What do you guys think of that concept?
Oh, I like that.
Right?
Freedom Ranch. Freedom Ranch. Hell yeah!
Obviously, Monero only for the for tickets to participate. And then the vendors, I'm thinking, I don't know if we have to mandate that they accept Monero only. Pork.
You should, like you did last time.
Well, no, I'm saying obviously my hope is they all would all choose. No, it has to be crypto or cash. But I'm saying, do we let the best crypto win? I'm sure everybody will be accepting primarily.
So let me tell you, the best bands are going to be the ones that will accept the fiat. And what you need to do is make those people perform in the places that you want the best people to come to. And it might be all wrong. It might be all lined wrong. They might just be taking the gig for the money. Right, but at the same time, if they do, you're still drawing the people that matter, and they might change the world.
I would just want to suggest one more thing. I think this time around, we should make sure, like the day before, at least 24 hours before the event kicks off, depending on where you have it, I think the vendors should be taught how to accept cryptocurrency. Because I know the last time when I was in Monerotopia, one of the vendors I actually had to show, a couple of the vendors actually had to show how to accept cryptocurrency.
Oh, yeah. They showed up on the spot. But that was fun. They all learned how to do it.
So, something I would suggest in maybe 24 hours in advance, maybe you go through a little 30-minute seminar how to accept Monero or cryptocurrencies. That way they don't be like, how do I do this?
Well, even when they sign up as a vendor, right? We'll tell them download Cake Wallet, whatever. And they're gonna have to use Monero to buy the ticket, right? Because that will force.
I have a deep question. For Sonia. Who is your most influential, your best influence?
For Sunita?
What do you mean, Sunita? Wait, best.
Sorry. So for Sunita, who is your best freedom influence? And why?
This one right here. This guy and I'm not being sarcastic. This guy lives, dreams, talks about Monero 24/7, about freedom, and I would say him.
That's actually I would never diss that because this guy how could I deny that?
He's just nonstop. He lives, breathes, talks about freedom.
I couldn't even put on this show. He does a great fucking job of doing this.
Let's not get him too excited, but yes.
dMartian, you do a good job.
You do too.
All right, so disagree with me. I wish we had some friction. I want to find our friction because if we did, then that would open up opportunities for us to explore our new ideas.
Oh, I'm sure we could find friction, no problem.
So what would you expect? What would be the most controversial opinion that you think you have?
Oh my God! All right, that's another show, guys.
That is honestly the only reason I want to move away from that topic is because Monero UK. Can you jump on and talk about the?
Well, he's going to talk about next week.
No, if you could just jump on now because this is such a hot hot topic.
Okay.
You guys mind? We're just gonna have Monero.
No, we do need to build this up. If it's gonna be that good, we need to build this up.
We'll have a deep convo along those lines. Monero UK, jump on if you can and give us the rundown on the shutting down of the pool and whether or not you think people are going to migrate over to P2 pool. Anybody else have opinions on that and what's going on with the mining ecosystem?
I think Monero Boating Club had something to say, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, man, go for it.
No, I think it's good news. I got some blowback on Twitter because many think that they're just going to go to the next biggest pool. I think it's great that the biggest pool is disappearing, but I maybe there's something I'm not seeing. I don't know. I think it's great news.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm just trying go ahead.
To date is what kind of scares me because it's right on the hard fork, and that's when hash rate always takes a hit.
Yeah,
so right there. I don't know.
Would that be a good time to transition though? Because people have to be aware anyway.
I mean, what I know is that it's going to be quite profitable to mine if hash rate drops. So I'm gonna be there.
You're gonna swoop in. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I know ultimately everything will be fine. And like I said, the outcome is gonna have to lead to a higher share of the mining network moving over to P2 people, right? I mean, I don't see how it wouldn't shake out that way. So it's just a matter of what happens between now and then. Just curious what people's opinions are there.
Yeah, I mean, P2 pool is like the best option. I mean, there's no reason to use under pool, except maybe if you can run your own node, and that might be the case with botnets. So that might be interesting, but yeah, P2 pool is the ultimate choice.
Totally agree. So we'll be. I think it's exciting news, and I'm sure it will shake out good. What is
he can't make
what
it.
Are people saying in the comments here?
Monero UK can't make it. So.
Oh yeah, no worries. Monero UK, we can talk about it next week. We'll see how things are. Well, when is it happening? It's August
12th.
12th. Okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
We'll set up another time. Maybe
you committed.
Come on. Yeah, he committed. He's gonna reach out on the side. Or not on the side after the show. But
all righty.
Let's
all right, guys.
Let's call it.
We're in it to win it. Adios.
We're gonna go to the beach.
Adios. We're gonna go to the beach.
Cheers, guys. Nitemare,
right, guys.
DM us. I know you're in New York. Hit us up. Maybe we could
all right.
Oakley doke.
I got you.
All right.
Later.
Awesome. Thank you all for joining us.
Have a good
Make
day,
sure
guys.
to
Thank
like
you,
the video.
Monero Boating
helps.
Club. Thank you, man, for being our
Please.
special guest this week.
Yes,
Appreciate
thank you very much, and make sure to like the video because that always.
Thank you for all your work.
Yes.
Thank you.
dMartian as always. And what's the other name? Jumped off.
Everyone left. All righty. Thank you guys. We'll see you. We'll see you next week. Adios.
Ciao.
Thank you for joining us on this week's Monerotopia episode. We stream live shows every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. You can find and subscribe to our show on YouTube and Odyssey, or listen to the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or Stitcher. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter or join us in the Monerotopia Telegram group. See you all next week.